All right, Matty, we are back with the Ask Matty show this fine Wednesday, and we're going to be talking a lot about crypto today. Shocker. We're going to be discussing about Polkadot, maybe get into some TA here in a second, talking about coins that we are potentially going to be buying right now, any new coin buying opportunities from maybe a crypto that we don't talk about a lot, and some responses to some of our past after-hour shows about SEC Chairman Gary Gensler, and does the president have the means to fire him? We're going to talk about that all today, as well as some follow-ups from Monday's After Hours, where we discuss deeply about XRP, Casper, and Zcash. I did not see 100 Zcash comments in the comment section, so we're not charting Zcash today. Try again next week, team, but we are going to have some responses to your Casper and XRP questions, as Monday was a fire episode, Matty. Great response from Monday's show. So we're going to follow that up here with some follow-up questions you guys had. But, Matty, before we get into the show today, as we have a lot to talk about today, team, become a CryptoCharged member. Matty, I don't think I ever give you the opportunity to talk about CryptoCharged. Why don't you share a little bit with the team about CryptoCharged?
Yeah, so what you guys get here on these, couple shows a week that we give you guys for free on YouTube is really just a taste of what we do over on the CryptoCharged live show. So we actually go live Monday through Friday, and it's not me just yapping up there for you guys. We do have a couple other partners that are with us that kind of bring in some different elements, especially on our Tuesday show. That's when our macro resident Dan Habib comes on the show. He breaks down all of that really difficult stuff to digest on a very easy to understand level. Fed decision rates, what's happening with inflation, how these things can affect the markets, some of the on-chain data. And then we also take a much deeper look at the charts. Generally, I would say 2 to 3 times a week, we're doing a really deep look at the charts. And on Fridays, we also take your guys' requests. We do Technical Tune-Up Fridays, probably one of our favorite segments with the community there. We go through all your guys' picks, stock, crypto, otherwise. And that's not even including all the other value on the website, the coin library, all the educational content, all that good stuff. So if you guys want to at least check it out, we give you guys 30 days free with code YouTube. And that also gives you 50% off if you choose to continue with us. So it comes out to either $50 a month or $49 for the year. I have done a lot of research, and it is some of the most competitive pricing out there for the value we offer. So I hope that you guys at least come check it out. 30 days free with that code YouTube.
All right, Matty, we got a lot of content to get into. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Benny the Jet 88 says, what coin are you looking at buying right now?
So if you guys have been following along here, you guys know that I was gobbling up Zcash and HNT. Helium and Zcash, those were really two assets that I were hyper-focused on. I had a lot of DCA going into those. I also had some tactical limits on HNT and Zcash that got filled twice over. And we've seen those really take off. So what have I actually done here? I've taken my foot off the gas with HNT and Zcash. I'm not making any purchases right now. Does that mean that I think that, that this is it and this is the top? No, but the risk to reward isn't as good as some of the other assets out there. So the two assets that I'm really putting my focus on right now is I'm DCAing into Casper. I think it's a fool's game to try to, set limits, when we're kind of in this uncharted territory. So I'm just doing a DCA over on Uphold for Casper right now. But where I've really refocused some of that energy from that HNT and Zcash is in API 3 right now. So what I did, and I let my team know, we did a step-by-step, hey, I'm selling 10% here, I'm selling 10% here. I sold about 25% of my API 3 bag between $3.50 and $4 when my average was right around that dollar region. So what I'm doing is I'm reaccumulating that bag that I sold, building a bigger position, and that's where a lot of my dollars are going right now, is going to be API 3. Other than that, Casper's DCA right now.
I like what you said about, Casper and Zcash there, because a couple months ago when Bitcoin breached its new all-time high, I actually took money, and I don't think this is that wrong. I don't think I broke any rules here for myself, Matt, but it was such a lucrative moment because Bitcoin just set a new all-time high. So I took money out of my savings and I was allocating that to Zcash and Casper. Now, looking at Zcash, I literally bought the bottom in Zcash, and I am up like, what, 70% now or 80% on my Zcash right now from the low, the yearly low. Remember how lucrative it was? We were talking about how lucrative it was. To passing up on this would be a very disappointment in the near future, and I'm feeling great rewarded right now. But the Casper just kept going lower, but I took that opportunity to stake that Casper. So win and a loss there. You kind of, kind of take it as they come, but buying the bottoms was very helpful here, team, and you should not be. This is one of the things I like about the show every single Monday through Friday is that you don't miss out on anything, right?
Right.
You literally get it charted every single day, and you get to lock in with the coins that you care about. You hear it every single day, which is important. And if you're not up to date, you are going to miss those opportunities. So there's another little jab at there for CryptoCharged, but let's go to the more questions here. Bean says, "Can you give me an update on DOT?"
Sure, we can absolutely do an update on DOT here. A lot of people were very, very excited about DOT in the last cycle. And again, I'm going to point to, I don't think people were jumping up and down about interoperability. I think they were jumping up and down about price. Now, I have not kept up with DOT. It's been on my watch list just because, you know, I've got in the coin library, I've got some people who are interested in DOT and still hold DOT. Something that I've never held personally in my own portfolio, especially by the time, you know, I started kind of paying attention to DOT. The risk reward was just absolutely gone. But let's go ahead and take a look at the chart here. Again, you're going to make sure to keep up on the fundamentals there, what the roadmap is. I know that DOT was a powerhouse for interoperability. I don't know if they still are in relation to the roadmap, but let's look at things from a chart perspective here. So I'm going to pull out to a daily chart, and we can see what happened here with, first of all, the illiquidity wick. We'll do a tiny little price study here just because it does is relevant to what we're looking for over on Casper as well as VeChain, and that's going to be this illiquidity candle right here. So on launch, when you get one of these, again, this is on the Kraken chart. This, you know, illiquidity wick isn't present on all charts, but what we have seen, and this is true of the FX markets, this is true of the stock market, but really more in FX and crypto. When you get these big illiquidity wicks, they have a tendency to get filled at least partially in the future. In this case, we ended up getting a double top off of where that previous wicking came in, and then we saw a further depreciation. Now, let's look at where DOT's at currently, and it's really not that pretty. You guys can see that we're basically here at the lows. Now, one of the positive things that we've seen is a big resilience off of those lows. So I'm going to go ahead and mark up the lows in there just so we have them as a team here. We look back here, we had the big bounce here in 2020, a second bounce in October of 2020, obviously big parabola from there. Really, really good timing here on the Kraken chart for DOT, just kind of launching into that, you know, big recessionary or big bounce off that, you know, C19 initial sell-off there. So what we've seen here, though, this was a head and shoulder structure here that ended up collapsing. So that's a distributive structure. You got the neckline in there, big breakdown. I do believe that that's done. I think the breakdown is done in there. I do see some imbalance that got left behind up here at that neckline. So right around that $6 mark. So I think short term DOT could work its way up towards 6 to rebalance it. Now getting back over 6 is going to be important. If we're able to reclaim 6, that sets us up to start making higher highs and higher lows. Rejection from 6 sends us back into accumulation, and we're basically stuck in a range between $3.60 and $6. So, you know, there are some other gaps on this chart. We did fill out one of them. Let's go ahead and just look at one more thing here. So we're going to grab our fib sequence, swing high, swing low in here, and that 236 hasn't been quite cleared out yet, or the 382, and those are two gaps on a short-term basis that we like to look for. So current market up into that 236 is maybe a 250% reward. Up into the 382 is about a 4x. So it's definitely not a bad short-term look. You know, does DOT have the capacity to keep going? Have they kept up competitively from a fundamental standpoint to other competitors that have come in the space since 2020 that are, you know, competing for interoperability? I couldn't tell you, right? Because it's not a project I keep up with on a fundamental basis. But that's my technical analysis. We're finding strong, find strong buyers here at the support levels, and I hope that continues for you DOT holders.
Matty, you just said you don't see that DOT chart going down to its lows, but we've seen it so many times with Zcash and then Casper and then breaking its low again. Would you just suggest for those DOT people out there just a DCA right now, or maybe a large limit order at that low, as it's, you know, was as on launch was at those lows and now has previously tapped that low again?
I mean, we're basically flirting with the lows here. We're about 20% off the lows. I say it's, you know, probably a little dangerous if you're like, I need DOT and I don't have any, to probably just run a DCA under $5 right now. If you're able to pick up under 5, that's probably going to be just the better situation for you. And, you know, we end up dipping down 10, come back up 10%, down 15%, up 10%. You're probably going to get about the average that you're looking for there. So I would say for me, if I had to play this out, I would just do a DCA under like 5.50. Once we break over that, take your foot off the gas and kind of just set some TPs for yourself and, you know, at least start taking some chips off the board.
Don't risk it when it's already so lucrative, right, Matt?
Right, absolutely. Don't be stepping over dollars to pick up pennies.
Digital Farm 7969, long question here. Honestly, these guys are so wrong about the president choosing the SEC chair. It completely derailed the entire episode. Joe Biden chose Gary Gensler as the SEC chairman. The president determines who the chairman is going to be. Clayton was also on MSNBC saying that Chairman Gary Gensler is probably going to resign for the same reason, can still be on the commission.
So roll back here. I know that we've got a lot of selective hearing users out there, and hopefully you guys, you know, go to the doctor and get that figured out. Go ahead and put some Q-tips in there. Trump said, and I quote, go ahead and look this up, "On day 1 in office, I will fire Gary Gensler." And I will stand by this. You guys can go look back, factcheck.org. The sitting president does not have the power to fire the SEC chair. Now, he can appoint a chair if the opportunity is open, right? A resignation happens, just like the Supreme Court, but they do not have the power to remove the SEC chair. They do not have the power to remove someone from the Supreme Court. And a lot of you guys are very confused about that, especially with the Roe v. Wade decision that happened recently. A lot of people are putting that directly on Trump, but the reality is those are Supreme Court justices that have been appointed over many, many years, some under the Bush era, some under the Barack Obama era, some under the Trump era, right? That happens over time. But sometimes there's entire presidential, sittings that go on, and a Supreme Court chair never comes down. So I am correct in saying that he doesn't have the power to remove him. So of course, if the stars align and Gary Gensler resigns, if Trump was president, he would have the power to elect a new SEC chair. If Kamala Harris were to win, she would have the power to appoint a chair, but only under the circumstances that the spot is vacant underneath their sitting of presidency. All right, so let's just be very clear on that.
Womble Stacker 7993 says, "You guys are irresponsible. Still talking about Casper."
I'm irresponsible talking about Casper. I mean, why? Why? Because price hasn't done what you wanted it to do, because you've overinvested, because you're impatient. I don't know why it makes me irresponsible. Nobody is even looking at the fact that VeChain set 2 new lows in its cycle before setting astronomical new highs. And we all know why Casper set those lows in conjunction with that horrible macroeconomic news. We got 5 days back to back to back. I'm not here to offer you guys financial advice, and I made that crystal freaking clear, right? Like I've made that super clear that I don't offer financial advice. I tell you guys what I'm investing in. I show you guys, the charts. I show you guys the fundamentals, and I make decisions. And you don't have to make those same decisions as me. I know some of you guys have like $200 in this market, and it's your last $200, and you're really upset that it's not worth what you think it was going to be worth by this time around. Or you've been watching other YouTubers that promise you this price by this time, and now you're upset because you're lumping me with those other investors. I've never promised you guys strict timelines, and I've never promised you guys that it was going to be a straight line up to anything. Again, I'm telling you guys what I'm investing in. If you're like, hey, I don't like the way this guy's invests, I don't like the projects he talks about, fine. Literally go watch anything else that makes you feel good, sincerely. And I'm not saying that I have the ultimate, prescription for the best investment strategy. This is what works for me. And we've proven it just with the Zcash, position that we've been building here. I showed on the show that we had 6 opportunities from January to buy the lows. You got 6 opportunities to buy the exact same price. And most people were like, nope, going lower. Zcash is garbage, blah, 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 right? Then you finally get this reversal and we're up over, 2x off the lows there. And suddenly, everyone's like, yeah, hell yeah, Zcash. I'm all about it, right? You get Zcash at $50, $80. Now the story really starts to change and people are like, where do you buy Zcash? Oh, it's right on Coinbase. So I really just don't give a shit, if I'm being honest, about your opinion about me being irresponsible, quote unquote, with talking about that. Because people told me I was being irresponsible buying Zcash at those prices. So I really just don't care. I'm sorry that you feel that way, brother, and I wish you the best success.
Hey, Matty, you can't really blame them, because even from the lowest level to the highest level person, this happens all the time. I mean, Zcash really took off last week, okay?
Right.
And then what did we see at the end of last week, or actually this weekend? Tyler Winklevoss came out. Obviously he's in cahoots with Shielded Labs, but he was like, oh, Zcash is an underrated coin.
Right.
Well, it happens at all levels, Matty. These people just need to see a little bit of price action, and then they flip. It happens every single time. I mean, there has been countless scenarios with the cryptos that we have talked about that people will just flip and be like, oh, it's a great investment now because, price is up, which is at the end of the day all you really care about. But you have to foresee that, okay? It takes,
Absolutely.
You have to be in the gutter, Matt.
You got to be in the gutter, and I can tell from a lot of the questions, especially questions like this, that a lot of you guys are employees and have been employees your entire life. Because I would be incredibly afraid to get into business with any of you guys because you guys are so short-minded. There is never a straight line when it comes to building something, whether it be your portfolio or a business or anything in your life that's worth achieving. So I really hope that you guys take off your little horsey blinders and see the world through a little bit of a wider lens, because I promise you that today's price action is not going to be the same price action we see next year.
James says at CryptoCharged, yeah, the Ripple case ended, and look at the price doing pretty much nothing per usual. Wow, Matty, we have a lot of haters today. Ripple has to dump about 400 million XRP to pay the lawsuit. Yeah, right. And take profits off its community. Yay, screwing us over again. And you keep promoting them.
Wow. I really just don't know if you guys have cotton balls in your ears or what. Also, you guys just throw out metrics that make no sense. Do you think that all of Ripple's money, a company Ripple, by the way, I think that we still somehow have not made this distinction between the digital asset XRP and the company Ripple. And they're two vastly different things, right? Do you think that Ripple's entire net worth is held in XRP? No, they, at the middle of this lawsuit, were sitting on $1 billion in cash. A billion, guys, with a B. Capital B as in boy. So 125 million in disgorgements, which, by the way, can be set up to sometimes be paid over time. Out of their $1 billion they're sitting on in cash, it doesn't include other assets. I'm talking about cash money, green money. Why would they sell XRP to pay for this lawsuit disgorgement? Like, that doesn't make any sense. I know a lot of you guys think that Ripple is like trading against you guys and selling XRP. They have products that revolve around the sales of XRP. That's always been the case, guys. Like, I just want to know what you guys think adoption means, like for any project. Do you think that these corporations are just going to buy and hold assets forever? Or are they sometimes going to sell in tranches or give these, send tokens as they need to other pools to create other liquidity pools? That is going to happen over and over again in multiple projects, right? And like, you guys want to like pin it up and you're like, oh, I figured it out. I got the conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy, right? Like, if you look at the price action of most of the market right now, it's pretty in line. Like, XRP is in line with the rest of the market right now, just kind of sitting around its accumulation zone, really not doing a whole lot. That's where most of the market right now, like HNT and Zcash are leaders. They're absolutely exemptions to the rule right now for what's happening with most of the market. I would say XRP is in line with the market. We're trading around 50 cents, 58 cents. I don't know who told you guys that, hey, once the institutional portion of this case has been settled, that XRP skyrockets, because that's something I've never said. I've always actually said that I don't think that it's going to have the biggest impact on price. I always say it has to do with what's happening with price action in the market. And I even said this when we covered the lawsuit extensively before XRP's status was determined by the court last year. I said we might get a little pop, but if the market conditions and the macro environment is not where it needs to be, we will not see XRP go to $13 overnight while the rest of the market sits flat. And that ended up being the case. You guys fantasize these outcomes, and you only, you go with confirmation bias, and you only follow channels and pages that promise you guys the world and the moon. With no actual basis of how it actually gets there, right? I unfortunately have to take in all the data, right? I have to take into account what's happening with the macro. I have to take into account what's happening with just market structure as a whole. Like, you have to understand that one court case decision that, again, is closely tied to XRP, but is not the owner of XRP. It's not a stock, guys, right? Is not going to impact price immediately the way you think it's going to be. So I haven't been promoting Ripple. I've told you guys I have a tiny bit of exposure pre-IPO Ripple, but that's it. I haven't told you guys to go buy Ripple. I haven't told you guys that Brad Garlinghouse is my favorite human in the world and he's, should be president of 2024. Like, I haven't done any of these things. So I don't know what you're talking about with promoting. Learn how to separate them. XRP is a digital asset. The fact that XRP is actually behaving with the rest of the market really continues to show, though, that there is a disconnect between the company Ripple and the digital asset XRP, and that the asset XRP moves with the rest of the price action of risk on assets, including the cryptocurrency market. So again, sorry, very narrow review there, but you're completely wrong.
Team, you guys are just lagging behind. You guys will hop from one thing to the next, and we just don't do that there. We, created what we're going to talk about, and we expand over time. We weren't talking about helium a while ago, and now we do. Now we talk about Zcash extensively on the live show, not on here. We talk about Casper and XRP and these things that we care about. And so, team, you guys can keep doing that. We're going to keep doing the same thing we've been doing. We're not switching up, and we're just going to deliver the facts, Matt. I think that's the job here. Is all we can do is talk about what we know, and that's very impactful for many out there, and many are feeling the rewards of that. Those that are diligent and those that want quick money will get hurt. That's just the name of the game. If you want quick money, you will get hurt. You had to be in the depths of the bear market and dropping your money and putting your faith in the assets that you took the time and did the fundamental research and took the time to understand what is a good buying zone. All right, what is the risk there? All right. It sucks, team. You guys must be new. I think I was joking. I'm like, Matty, some of these got to be boomers, right? These guys have, like, I don't want to diss a whole generation there, but some of this reading comprehension crap is terrible, Matt. But, team, that's all we have for today. Thank you for joining us. You got something valuable here, which I think you did for those people that are in DOT or, I like bringing up these Casper and XRP comments because I do hear from my peers outside of just CryptoCharged just this weird narrative. Like, someone was telling me the other day, like, he's like, I saw a complete flip-flop on XRP the other day on my YouTube. Like, everyone's talking about XRP now. It's like, that's just what happens with a little bit of a price increase. And then you see Zcash now. It's just, this is the name of the game, Matt, and people will flip on a dime for price action and hop in. I was reading the comments the other day, and someone was like, I'm not going to buy Casper right now, but I'll buy Casper when it gets to, what was it, like 50 cents or something? And I'm just like, You just don't. You just are missing the whole.
Yeah, let most of the opportunity pass you by first, then jump in. Like I think that people misunderstand risk to reward, and they think price is high, and that means less risk, but that actually means exponentially more risk. So again, you guys can employ whatever strategy you want. The members that we've had that have stuck with us for a year or more have said that our strategy has genuinely reduced anxiety, helped them build bigger and stronger positions, and just given them a more clear plan, right? Like they don't feel like they're scraping around and chasing around at things. They have a handful of opportunities, and they already know how to double down on the ones they want, especially the ones that have been around us. They get in the chat, they let us know, hey, here's what I doubled down on it today, lowered my average on this. They have a plan. They feel centered, right? And that's what I want for you guys. My goal is not to make you guys feel disconnected or you don't know what you're doing. My goal is to give you guys the tools and resources so that you can become more efficient and automatically know, oh, these are the two things that I should be DCA into more, because out of everything in my portfolio, these are the things that need the most attention. That's what I want you guys to take away from this, is to learn how to use the charts to create your own plan and be consistent with that plan.
Team, that's all we have for today. Thank you for joining us. Again, leave a like if you got something valuable here. Do not leave the video just yet. I hate when you guys just pop in and don't help us out. Either like or subscribe, okay? Don't just take us for granted here. Give us some feedback, okay? Matty, we're done for today and for the week on YouTube, but if you guys want more information, again, CryptoCharged.com, link in the pinned comment down below. All right, team, we'll see you next week. Bye.